Hi, everybody. Looks like we have folks joining us already. Yay. Welcome to today's webinar, the CDA with class. I'm today's moderator, Megan Cornwell, and I am the content marketing person here at Teachstone. And I'm super excited to dig in. We have so much great content for those of you who are interested in learning more about the CDA with class program. But before we jump into all of the amazing details and getting to show you exactly what the platform looks like on our end, I do want to share a few housekeeping tips for everybody. So first and foremost, today's presentation is being recorded, and don't worry if you have to jump off in the middle of it, it's okay. We'll send you an email tomorrow with the link to the recording, and we'll also share the slides for today's presentation. I know a lot of people get ideas and they want to share the slides with like their directors or whomever, so feel free. We'll send that email to you tomorrow. We do not have a certificate of attendance today because this is more of a product focused presentation. So just wanted to kind of give you the heads up now. If you're looking for a certificate, this webinar might not be for you, but if you are interested in learning more about CDA, definitely stay put. And it's also an interactive presentation. So we've got two opportunities for you to chat with each other and then chat with us. So if you want to chat with each other, I already see people joining here and letting us know where they're coming from. Feel free to use that chat box. If you hover down at the bottom, there's a little button that says chat. So let us know. Looks like we have some people who are having issues hearing. Can I get a thumbs up, Erin? Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you fine, yeah.
Okay, great. Like I said, we're recording, so if we can't get any of the technical stuff worked through, we'll send you that recording. I'm sorry, there's not much I can do. Okay, thank you for letting me know, folks. I see people can't hear me. Okay, thank you for confirming.
And one thing,
Okay.
Megan, with
Oh yeah, go
the
ahead.
chat, some of y'all, when you go in the chat next to two, if you can change from host and panelists to everyone, and then everyone will be able to see what you're chatting in.
Yes. Ooh, I see
we got someone from
Charlottesville. That's where our office is located.
That's where
That's
I am
exciting.
located.
Okay, and if you have more private questions that you don't want to submit in the chat, you can use that Q&A box. It's also in the bottom there of your Zoom panel. So you can use Q&A to submit private questions. We will have time for questions and answers throughout the presentation and a period at the end. But keep, chat with each other. These are always really interactive and conversational. And Erin and I will do our best to incorporate all the comments coming through. And so that brings me to a nice point to introduce our presenter today. This is Erin Sabina. Erin, like I said, like she said, is joining from Charlottesville and is an account executive here at Teachstone. If you've been to6 joined any of our previous product demonstrations or webinars, Erin is there. Erin is so knowledgeable about class. You've been here for 6-7 years, I think. And I'm super excited to have you diving into CDA today. So welcome.
Well, thank you, Megan. So as Megan mentioned, I am Erin Sabina. I just had my 6-year anniversary. I have spent most of my time here at Teachstone in the South Central portion of the country, just recently transitioned to supporting our partners in Western states. So if you're in a Western state, please feel free to reach out to me. And so my background a little bit, I worked in childcares, I worked in juvenile detention centers, and coming to Teachstone has just been a fantastic fit for me as far as utilizing not only my skill sets, but also my passions. So I'm very passionate about class, and I love what we've done with this CDA with class. Next slide, please. So we're going to get started. So we just did a little bit of a welcome. We're going to do a little bit more of a welcome in a moment. We're going to overview our CDA with class system and options, and then discuss a little bit about how the CDA with class benefits your program. And we're going to do that.
I was just going to jump into, sorry to interrupt, but I'm curious to see everybody letting us know where they're coming from, but I'm curious, let me know if you are an educator or if you're a program leader. I think that will help us tailor the content. So what kind of role are you playing? Most people probably are wearing multiple hats. like we all often do, especially in early childhood education, but I do see some program directors, school directors. Okay, thank you, site directors, coaches. Oh, but we also have quite a few teachers. So we'll make sure we cover it from multiple angles.
Absolutely. Thank you for that, Megan. And so we'll cover it from multiple angles, and we'll do this we're going to discuss some of the benefits, some of the really great, unique features of our CDA. And then we're also going to dive into the platform to actually see what the content looks like and the ease of use. So if we can start, what I would love to see in the chat is just thinking about your experience with CDA. So whether you are preparing educators or if you've been through the CDA process previously, what are some challenges that you have faced with obtaining your CDA, with different CDA programs that you've worked with? And so what are you trying to kind of solve for in looking at our CDA with class? Time constraints.
I was just going to chime in and say when I was talking to some folks at the NHSA annual conference, I think time constraints came up quite a bit when we were talking about this program there. More time, cost, getting the hours, time.
Lack of observers. Quality of trainings. And actually, I just saw a comment that reminded me of one thing that I wanted to add to this PowerPoint. So I will just kind of discuss it without adding to it. There was a comment that somebody mentioned about this being their first time experiencing CDA. So what is a CDA? A CDA is a Child Development Associate credential. So it is a type of credential for folks who either have not gone on to get an associate's or bachelor's, or have that, but not in early childhood. So this is to focus specifically on child development and early childhood. Some roles, depending on your state, if you're Head Start, early Head Start, require a CDA credential at minimum. So this is regarding CDA, but what specifically is different about our CDA with class? Okay. Were there any other pain points?
Yeah, some folks are just curious about CDA overall. I think there's been a little trend on like it's confusing for people who haven't been through it before. Not sure how to get your binder together. A lot of people getting first time information on CDA.
Yes, you should be here if you're a total newbie. And yes, high school students can attain the coursework to get your CDA through the council. So that's another part that we need to add in here, Megan, is kind of level setting what we provide. So we provide the 120 clock hours towards your CDA credential, and we provide portfolio support. To actually apply through the council, participants, educators would need to have a high school diploma or GED, but that is not a requirement for our coursework. That's just a requirement once you go to the actual credentialing part. Okay. Alrighty. So some things that differentiate our CDA with class. We heard a little bit about time constraints. So we have flexibility to complete coursework from any device on the educator's schedule. This is important because not only does it support with being able to do a bite-sized chunk on your cell phone while you're in a doctor's waiting room or on a bus, or just waiting, doing something, then you can move to your tablet, then you can move to your desktop. So there's that flexibility, but also there's not specific meeting times. So that is one of the time constraint questions that comes up is, as an educator, I only have so much time to be able to have like a meeting that I go to, a class that I go to. I can't be available every Tuesday at 7 p.m. You don't have to be even in our facilitated version. So we'll discuss that a little bit as we get into the different options, but there's a ton of flexibility with our various CDA options. I don't think I saw it in any of the comments here, but one thing that I have seen or that I've heard from programs is a concern about the content itself. I did see someone say quality training, but concern about the content itself and being engaging. And so that is another thing. If you're familiar with Teachstone, if you're familiar with class and our videos of classroom footage, then you know the engaging content that we have that is also embedded into our CDA with class coursework. So you're going to see real classroom footage, real classroom videos, and more while going through our CDA coursework. Excuse me. So I mentioned that there are unique CDA offerings for unique learning needs. So we have an on-demand CDA. On-demand CDA means that you can work through it at your own pace. So you can finish quickly if you need to finish quickly. You can take your time if you need a little bit more time. You have a year to complete it. It is asynchronous learning, and you can bounce around a little bit. So you don't have to, it's not scaffolded in the same way that our facilitated one is. You can be doing health and safety one day, do administration, and bounce around in that way. Our facilitated CDA, our facilitated CDA has multiple options as well. So our facilitated CDA is going to be the same great content from our on-demand CDA, but now it's broken out into a more scaffolded way, progressing through the lessons, building on the content. Differentiation between facilitated and on-demand, there is a set time frame. So rather than having a full year with the facilitated CDA, they have 24 weeks. So it's broken up into 3 courses of 8 weeks each. During those 8 weeks, learners can move relatively at their own pace. For example, they could complete the 8 weeks in, say, 6 weeks, but the next course still opens up at that specific date 2 weeks later to keep the cohort moving forward together. Another part about the facilitated that differentiates, as I mentioned, there's no specific meeting times. So we don't have the specific meeting times that you have to meet, but there's discussion boards and there's assignments and there's a facilitator to support with your journey. You can do the facilitated CDA and earn CEUs. So you would earn 12 CEUs, or you can do a facilitated CDA option that provides ECE college credit, 9 ECE college credit. Lastly, we do have a CDA renewal option, which we'll discuss in a little bit. Once you have a CDA credential, you have to renew it every 3 years. So we do have that renewal option to maintain your credential. Okay. And then last, this is sort of the cherry on top for me. So we've got this great CDA coursework that on its own is a great standalone option. But then on top of that, we have embedded class concepts and strategies. So if you're already using class in your program, if you're a Head Start or class is mandated in your state QRIS, you're embedding these great interactions right from the beginning when educators are first really learning what they're doing with their early childhood students, and not having to break habits down the road, but also not siloing the information. You're doing child development theory and health and safety and things of that nature at the same time that you're discussing class and interactions. So educators can see how they go hand in hand and not viewing them as separate things where class is just another thing to do. And so our CDA renewal with class. So I mentioned that your credential is valid for 3 years. Every 3 years, you need new content. So we have just rolled out a new CDA renewal with class. So this is going to be, if you've already gone through our CDA renewal 3 years ago, you can now go through our CDA renewal again because it's updated new content and information. With that, I love that our CDA with class can really be a one-stop shop. You get your initial credentialing, you can get that class knowledge, and then you can keep coming back to us every 3 years for that renewal. The renewal is a flexible, hold on 1 second, Megan. The renewal is a flexible schedule. So with that, you can jump in at any time, similar to on demand, but there's also the benefit of discussion boards and assignments the way that you have in the facilitated CDA option. So it's sort of a hybrid between those two options. All right, you
Yes.
jumped on. What's up?
I did jump on. Yeah, we had quite a few questions on if somebody is looking to do their renewal. I wanted to clarify, you don't have to have gotten your original CDA through Teachstone or have your CDA with class in order to do the CDA renewal with class. So you could have gotten your CDA a couple years ago through a totally different program, and you can move forward with the CDA renewal with class. So just wanted to clarify there because that came up a couple of different places. And you don't need to be an observer to go through this. This is very separate from the class observer certification. So two totally different programs. You don't need to be an observer. You don't have to, be trying to become an observer. And the CDA does not credential you to become a class certified observer. It's two very different things.
Thank you. And looking at some of these questions too, the renewal is 45 hours. That's the number of hours that you need for the renewal. So you earn 4.5 CEUs. Is the CDA recognized in county schools? CDA is a national credential. So it is nationally recognized, but as far as whether it will help you get a job in a specific program, different types of programs, different levels, whether it's county, state, et cetera, also have varying credentialing requirements. So it would depend on your specific program as well. Okay. CDA is for infant toddlers too. That is another great point that I meant to bring up, is that our CDA is birth to 5, which means that you can be using these 120 hours to apply for an infant toddler credential and also apply for a pre-K credential. So instead of needing 240 clock hours to get both credentials, you can just use that same 120 hours for both applications with the council. I saw another question, do we provide the CDA? We do not provide the CDA. We provide the coursework and we provide portfolio support. The other parts that are required for earning your CDA through the council are done separately from us. All right, so now.
Loving all these questions, so keep them coming. I know Erin's about to do some screen sharing so you can see what it looks like, but please keep those questions coming and you can submit them. It's a little bit easier if you submit them through the Q&A box because it might get a little bit buried. The chat is super active. So if we haven't gotten to your question, you can use that Q&A box.
Okay, thank you. And Megan, can you confirm that you see my dashboard?
Yes, I see dashboard.
All right. So some of y'all might be familiar with what this looks like if you already are doing various class trainings, if you're a certified observer, but this is what your dashboard looks like as a class user. This is also where your CDA with class would be housed. So I'm going to come in here. I am in a demo account, so I have every course that we offer in here. So I'm going to come into my Learning Hub. And I am going to start out looking at one of our on-demand courses. So with our on-demand course, you can see here, I have various little sections here. I have cognitive development, learning through play and discovery, supporting cognitive learning. You see we have assessments throughout. And then we'll also have quizzes as we go through. So I'll click into a section here. And so they all are going to have the same sort of framework, that there's a start, a learn, and then a check. So at the start, we're going to do an overview. The overview is going to set the foundation for what the objectives are and align this lesson to the CDA competencies. Also provides some vocabulary to level set the understanding of what these terms mean, make sure everybody's on the same page about what these mean when they're used. Frame your thinking. This is a reflective area. Reflective journal is optional, but highly encouraged, just to be able to reflect on some of your experiences and practices and think about where you are now and be able to work through this coursework and look back on where you were and then where you are at the end. You'll see as we go through the coursework, there's reading, there's different videos. So here is a little video clip for sensory motor, for pre-operational, and they're short video clips, but they're the same great content that you've seen in our other videos. There's also transcript options. So I love that because I like to read along as I'm listening. It helps me process better. So we've really thought through different learning modalities as well. I hope you think this looks pretty easy to use. That's one of the things that I really love about our CDA with Class, is that one of the original folks who was in the whole process of getting this set up is actually a product of CDA later in life herself. So after her kids were out of the house, she was an empty nester. She then decided to go back and get a CDA, go into the classroom, and then ultimately ended up earning a master's. But she was very passionate about adult learning and about being able to support folks who haven't been on the receiving side of education in many years, may not be as comfortable with technology. So hopefully you see as we're going through this, that this is really user-friendly, pretty intuitive. More reading. Here's some questions to think about as you're about to watch this video. Some things that you could have called out there. And then a quiz. These quizzes, you get 3 attempts. You do not have to get a specific score to move on, unlike the assessments. The assessments, you do need a specific score to move on. But as I do a quiz, I'm just going to click random answers here. And you'll see, not only does it tell me that this answer is incorrect, it also tells me why this answer is incorrect. Again, just clicking random answers. Maybe I will get one correct at some point with just clicking the first answer. Still incorrect. So one thing it does do is if I do get it correct at some point, so you'll see that it not only tells me it's correct, but again, it explains to me why this answer is correct. And then I can submit. I did awful. So I got a 20%. So I could now retake this quiz if I wanted to. And then I am done with this section. Do we have, let me pause there. Megan, do we have any questions for that portion? You're on mute.
I'm on mute, not specific to what you're screen sharing. I do have quite a few Q&A, but I'm going to hold these until after the next section.
Okay, sounds good. So you see these various tiles here are the different CDAs. So all the ones that say OD are the on-demand ones. So each of the various on-demand courses is a different tile. So you can be working on administration, then I could go to intellectual development, I could go to professional portfolio and kind of bounce around here. Next, I'm going to look at CEU CDA course 1. So it's going to be set up.
One more quick question. Let me interrupt. Is there a limit on how many times you can take those quizzes?
There's 3 attempts. but you're not prevented from moving on if you don't get an 80%. With the
Gotcha. Thanks.
assessments, we'll see that you do get prevented from moving on. You have to pass them before you move on.
Okay.
So the CEU version, we'll see just a little bit different because there's a syllabus here, some pacing guides, announcements. So this is where a facilitator will be providing announcements for your learners on a weekly basis, grades as assignments get graded. And then there's also these discussions, and we'll see assessments. So that's where I was mentioning in that facilitated portion that there's these discussion boards. So your learners are engaging with other learners within their cohort during the facilitated CDA experience. Readings, the textbook does come with the course for whichever age level was selected. So you will receive the CDA Council book for pre-K or infant toddler. So if I come in here and go to the first lesson, ages and stages, milestones and development, and you'll see, again, it's the same framework: start, learn, check. So the way that the content looks is just the same as on demand. Learning objectives, competencies, vocabulary, required reading. So here's a PDF download, video and video transcript that I mentioned. And then here's an activity. So in this one, this is just kind of a little fun hands-on activity here. It's not a quiz or anything, but we're going to be thinking about, in this instance, thinking about a child and whether they are meeting their developmental needs here or not. Pushes down on legs when feet are on a hard surface. Again, I'm just going to pick an answer here and just keep going to this side. So those are all correct as I'm going through. That one was not correct. So see how it bounced back at me and then says, okay, try again. So now I know it's not typical. Not typical. And so it'll keep telling me. And then I can, so I got 6 out of 10. So this is where I could replay it if I wanted to. Video and reflection questions, and then again, a quiz. And if I come back to the modules, I should be able to show what an assessment looks like. The assessments are not, sorry, not able to open that here. And then a discussion. So this is, I'm in a demo environment here. So it says staff copy because this is us being able to show what a discussion might look like as far as what the prompts look like. So I mentioned it's birth to 5. So infant, toddler, and pre-K are all doing the same coursework. So the prompts, there's one for pre-K, one for toddler, infant. What age group do you work with? Choose a domain and discuss how this domain of teacher-child interactions is reflected in what you do. So you have to not only answer this prompt, but then also there's these reply buttons and you can reply to the learners. And we want you to then reply to at least 2 other discussion conversations that are happening with something a little bit more substantive than just agreed, but rather like, yeah, I've seen the same thing happen when I've done X, Y, Z in the classroom, and being able to explain in that way. Okay. And then we also see portfolio assignments. So we have portfolio support that is scaffolded within the coursework. For facilitated, it's a separate tile. For on demand, but you are building your portfolio and answering questions along the way. So that support is provided. Okay. All right, Megan, were there any questions now?
Yes, we've got quite a few. We have a question on if this is appropriate for family child care providers to take, and the answer is yes.
The
We
answer is
love for
yes,
family child
because
care providers.
yes. So the caveat to that is that when you submit your choice for purchase, infant, toddler, and pre-K are the only options. So you may just need to reach out to our customer support team to see if you could get an FCC book instead of an infant, toddler, or a pre-K book. But because the hours are birth to 5, it is applicable for FCC. It is not yet applicable for home-based or home visitor. Home visitor.
We have another question clarifying some folks asking about infant, toddler versus pre-K. So just to clarify, the CDA program is offered as either infant and toddler or pre-K, and then after you complete the coursework, your certificate would list the age group of the training that you'd be enrolled in.
There are other questions?
Yeah, someone's asking to share the webpage about joining CDA. So I will do that in 1 second. Question about where you take the test. And that's all of this coursework would be in my Teachstone, or you would log in through on the Teachstone website. But could you talk more about that, Erin?
Sorry, was that login through?
Yeah, how would you get to this what you're screen sharing essentially?
Oh, so
Going back to, yeah.
you would go through your dashboard, and if you don't have a dashboard yet, you would create one as you're making your purchase of the CDA, and then it'll create your dashboard and put that coursework on there for you. I see a question about CDA approved in Louisiana. I will give contact information at the end of this webinar. I know Louisiana has some specific kind of qualifiers for CDA, so it would be best in that instance to connect with one of our Louisiana contact people who have more of that understanding.
And I will drop a link in here if you're not sure who your rep is. We can put in a form here so we can connect you with the right person to talk with. So give me 1 second and I'll pull.
Okay. So coming back to my dashboard here, I can now show what one of our college credit ones looks like. So again, it's facilitated. It's going to look very similar to the facilitated for CEUs. And so when I come in, it's going to have the same kind of breakdowns. The additional aspects here, so you're going to have some podcasts, some really rich podcast content. So positive relationships matter, interactions matter. So we'll see here that this one is about establishing positive relationships with children and elements that support those relationships. And then there's also podcast reflections. So similar to the discussion board, here are some prompts. You can reply and then engage in that conversation, that reflection about the podcast. So just a little additional content and additional support and engagement for the college credits. We see all the same textbook readings, lessons. So it's all very similarly built, same content, just adding kind of layers depending on which option you're selecting. Okay. Coming back to dashboard, last one. And so you see this little, what's that called? A megaphone? This little megaphone with the number 1 here. That indicates that there's announcements in this one as well. So here's some unread announcements that I haven't looked at yet. So I can come into the coursework. This is for my renewal. And so now you can see what the various information that we have in the new renewal is. So we have introduction to the family, culturally diverse families, socialization in families, family well-being, building relationships, parenting styles, engaging families and children's learning, and family engagement. So again, if you went through our CDA renewal 3 years ago, you'll see that this is all new content from that renewal. And every 3 years, we'll be doing the same thing so that every 3 years it's new content and you can go through that new content.
Okay. We have a question about which college issues the credit.
Waldorf University is who issues the credits. They are transferable to most colleges. You would just want to double check. We have the course number and names listed, and you would just want to double check that those course numbers and names are accepted at where you're transferring.
And another question, can you move as quickly as you want, or do you have to follow a set pace?
So that depends on demand versus facilitated. So on demand, yes, you can work as quickly as you want. Facilitated, yes and no. So facilitated is 24 weeks long. Each of the courses is 8 weeks long. You can kind of work through those 8 weeks at your own pace. So I had mentioned earlier, you could finish in, say, 6 weeks, but you still need to wait 2 weeks until the next course opens. The other aspect is you have to engage with others in the discussion boards. So if you are too far ahead of the rest of your cohort, you won't have other people to engage with to be able to move along. We do have some workarounds if needed, if you're going to be on vacation or something like that. But those are just kind of some of the qualifiers about that at your own pace.
So that kind of answers my other question too. We had somebody ask if there's a specific order, if you can bounce around on the courses, and it sounds like a kind of similar answer there.
Yes, so you can bounce around on the classes if it's on demand. If it's facilitated, there is a specific order.
All right, you want me to keep going with the questions, or do you want to move on?
Yeah.
We can come back to some other questions.
Yeah, I'm good with sharing my screen if you want to put the PowerPoint back up and just do that last part.
Sure, yeah, we can do the PowerPoint. And then just to answer a question on what languages the CDA with class is offered in.
Currently, our CDA with class is only offered in English. We do have some bilingual facilitators who can offer a level of support with bilingual learners, but ultimately the coursework and the content is in English. It is something that we are looking at building out Spanish in the future, but I don't have a kind of estimated date or anything for that. So this image shows what I mentioned just kind of at the end there, is that it's the same content, just adding layers as you go through the different options. So we have that base on-demand CDA. It's going to get you those class concepts, the quality interactions, the competency standards book, access to our class learning community, professional education and portfolio requirements and portfolio support, engaging content, and flexible schedule. Now, our CDA facilitated with CEUs provides all that same stuff, and then also adds the layer of providing specific feedback and guidance from expert facilitators, those discussion boards, engagement with peers. And then one step further, facilitated with college credits, provides all the same great content from facilitated with CEUs, but adds the access to podcasts and additional learning experiences, and then also offers those transferable college credits and the option to continue on to Waldorf University's Early Childhood Associate Program, transfer those to a different college. Okay, next slide. So just to recap, our CDA with class you experience engaging content that not only is it engaging content, but you're getting those class concepts embedded, so you're not siloing the information. You can choose the learning experience that's best for your teachers. They can go through different experiences. So if one teacher really would like the support of facilitated, another teacher wants more flexibility with timeline, you can have them pick which one is best for them. You can also choose the learning experience that's best for your program's needs. I know some programs have specific requirements that new hires maybe have to obtain their CDA within 6 months. You would need the on-demand option for that because you're not going to be able to meet that timeline with the facilitated option. So just having that flexibility. And then they receive the competency standards book and access to the class learning community with any of these options. All right. So now we are good for last questions.
Good for last questions. Yay. Okay. All right. We have questions about cost, and I think we had this in a previous version of the slide deck. Is that something you mind going over, Erin?
Yeah, totally fine. So the on-demand version is $329 a person. The facilitated version for CEUs is $549 a person. And the facilitated version for college credits is $1,299 a person. I've heard really good things about these price points, especially the college credits, that it's a really good price to even be able to just get those college credits, even if you don't need CDA, just to get those early childhood college credits, if that's a requirement that you have. And to renew, that I always forget that one. I want to say, hold on one moment. Let me double check that price. Let's see, $215. There we go. Thank you, Andrew. $215 for the renewal. And the cost is on our, if you go to CDA, let's see, go to store.teachstone.com/CDA. So Andrea just put that site in here. So the costs are all there again, but so it's $329 for on demand, $549 for facilitated with CEUs, $1,299 for facilitated with college credit, and then $215 for the renewal.
We can include that in the follow-up email. I know there's been a couple more questions on, can we receive the recording and slides? Yes, we'll email those out to folks afterwards. And we can include that cost information too, so it's all in one handy chart. Something to add into our next presentation that we do, Erin. We'll have that so somebody can screenshot very quickly. Does the price include the CDA application fee?
It does not. So that is separate. Okay. So this cost includes the 120 clock hours and the portfolio support. All of the rest of those steps are done through the council. So the application fee goes to the council. Getting your CDA observer is done through the council. So all of those other steps are through the credentialing agent, which is the Council for Professional Recognition.
Mm-hmm. So you go through the course and then you apply through the council to get the CDA certificate, essentially.
Yes.
Isabella, do you mind putting back up that chart that shows the different versions? We have a couple questions here from Janet and Roberta on what kinds of other supports do people receive as they're going through this? Roberta asks, is the on-demand, does that include instructions on creating your portfolio? And then Janet asks, is there an orientation either before or after? So I think regardless of whether you're doing a facilitated or not, there is a level of support that Teachstone offers. So Erin, I was hoping you could talk more about that too.
Yep. So as far as, sorry, can you repeat the questions to me? That was
yeah, sure. Yeah, it was a lot all at once. Questions on, or if you're going through on demand, is there any kind of introductory webinar or facilitation beforehand? That's question one. And then question two is more of like, what kinds of support do you get if you're going through on demand versus facilitated?
Okay. So bear with me one second. Share my screen. Oh, can I take over screen share?
I just asked to screen share this. Yeah, no problem. One second. Isabella, we can turn this one off.
Just because I want to show what kind of the on-demand one has. All right, thank you. All right, so jumping back to on-demand portfolio. So if you just kind of go into the portfolio support section. So again, in the back here, in the facilitated version, the portfolio is kind of built in, you're building it along the way. In the on-demand, it's a separate tile. So you can do it all at one time. You can do it along the way, however works best for you. But there is this introduction, getting started, next steps, complete your portfolio. And then as you go into each one, so if I come into, say, reflective competency statements, begin writing, and then I come to the next page, there's some worksheets here. So I can then come into the worksheet, download it. Here's the worksheet. I can type into it, and then I could then download this and save it. And so I've typed in the work, I've answered the questions, I've got this worksheet already, and then I can just print them out and have that all bundled together for the end.
All right, combing through some more questions here. Do we help candidates with the application process? So when you're applying through with the council?
It depends on what they mean by helping candidates through the application process. I mean, we give guidance on what the next steps are, but the actual onus of kind of following up on those next steps would be on the candidates and their support systems within the program. But we do provide, here's what the next steps are, here's how we can help get you there. As far as I know, I saw some questions about observers being difficult to come by. I mean, you can always reach out. We can kind of discuss what information we have and know about the best way to do that. Observers are not through us, they are through the council, but there are ways to get support from the council if you're having trouble finding observers.
Oh, thank you. Question about the CDA expiring. My CDA expired and I didn't realize, do I have to start all over?
That would be a question for our customer support team because it would depend on when it expired. And I, to be honest, I'm not sure what the timeline is after expiration on when it has to be done by. But our customer support team knows that, and they're able to let you know whether you would qualify for the renewal at this point, or if you would need to go through the coursework and credentialing again.
Okay. We also have a couple of our CDA specialists on the call. So if you have that answer, let us know in the chat. Are there example portfolios that are available to look at throughout the course?
Not that I'm aware of, but that's a great question.
Becky, let us know. Antrika, let us know. Okay, so we had another question earlier about, let me make sure I had it right. I wrote it down over here. Can high schoolers take this, then get their certification following getting their high school diploma? And the answer is yes. So you can apply for the credential through the council right after graduation so that they get their diploma and the CDA around the same time.
Yep, so they could do the coursework while they're still in high school. And then once they have their diploma, finish the process with the council. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay, Keisha here asks, I have 2 staff members who are currently doing the CDA with class. When should they start creating their portfolios? And again, another question on, is there guidance on the portfolio itself?
Yep. So it depends on if they're doing on demand or facilitated. Facilitated, they're doing it through the coursework. And on demand, they can do it whenever through the process. They can wait till the very end if you'd like to wait till the very end, or they can do it kind of throughout. And then the guidance on what they're doing, we have like all the templates, and there's guidance in those. If you saw, it's like little modules still. So there's directions and a little bit of reflection, and then the templates to download. And I did want to go back. I saw that I had missed when there were the several bullet points. I missed the first question again. There is not an intro to help students navigate. It's like there's not like a kickoff, so to speak. That said, you can always either, I know some programs have shown this webinar to their educators to kind of set the stage. If you have a lot of educators going through at one time, I know I have done little mini kickoff calls with educators. I'm sure whomever your point of contact is might be open to doing something similar, just to make sure that we can support your educators going through the process.
How many hours are needed for the CDA?
120 clock hours for your initial credential. So that is why we have that 120 clock hours, which is 12 CEUs, 9 ECE units, but we provide that full 120 hours that's needed.
All right, I am still answering some questions too. Sabrina, this is an interesting question. Will all daycare providers need CDA in the near future? That's a good question. I don't know if we can anticipate that. And it really depends on your state, your region. Each state has their own network of rules and requirements. In some places it is required, in some places it's not. And it's really hard to gauge whether it will be required for everybody in the near future. I love that question though, and it makes me really curious.
I mean,
Uh,
the more education, the better, but it's yeah, it really varies as far as what the requirements are, as Megan just mentioned.
yeah. Okay, I know you've been over the cost, but can we get that overview again one more time, please?
Yep. So $329 on demand, $549 facilitated with CEUs, $1,299 facilitated with college credit, and $215 for the CDA renewal course.
All right, thank you. Question here again about BESE, which I believe is Louisiana. So I would recommend filling out this form that I'm dropping into the chat, Zerlander. So that form, if you have more nuanced questions about does this, meet requirements in X state, or like what else do I need to do within this district or program, this form will get you connected to the person who represents your region. They're going to be a little bit more knowledgeable than me personally. So definitely fill out that form to get connected if you have those more specific questions, because our team will get you the right answers. I don't want to just kind of guess. I want to make sure that you get the correct information. And yes, thanks Isabella for reminding me. We will include the pricing in tomorrow's email along with the slides again, and the recording from today, because all of this is being recorded. Let's see, what other questions? Oh, payment plans. Are payment plans available?
Payment plans are for private pay, not really. So you have to pay when you register through the site. The one thing is, and this is a good call out, is if you are a program that wants to register multiple people, you don't need to register each individual through the site. I would prefer that you not do that, because that actually sometimes folks end up registering under their own name, and then we have to move people around. But also, you need each person to check out individually. So if you have a group, you can come through your rep. So 2 or more, you can come through your rep. We can do a purchase order, which is sort of like a payment plan. You don't have to pay right away. And then you would get a product key that you can then provide out to all of your staff. And then they would then register themselves when they're ready, which means that you can also pre-order CDA product keys with anticipation of new hires. Maybe you purchase a bunch for your educators now, but you want to have a couple extra. You can do all of that. You can, if you're trying to spend down end of year funds before you lose the money, it's something that you can purchase and have sitting, waiting, knowing that you're going to need to get some folks credentialed.
And we have had a follow-up similar question on, does Teachstone offer scholarships or financial aid? We don't offer them through Teachstone, but there are the Teach scholarships in different states. I know offer different kinds of scholarships and initiatives, and some employers I know have offered that as well. So you could check with your employer or with your state, and they might have a little bit more information. If you're connected with your child care resource and referral agency, they might have more resources on finding scholarships to help you with that too.
And I would also say, again, just direct you to your point of contact here at Teachstone, because I'll say, like, I was just speaking to a state person recently who does CDA scholarships for the state and had never heard of CDA with class, to know that it was an option, but now knows about it and is potentially, going to look at that as an option. So it's something that it's still one of our newer offerings a little bit, and being able to just get the word out there that this is an option so that you can get the scholarship applied towards our CDA.
Yeah. Okay, so yes, we have another question on family child care providers, and do we observe the teachers? So I think, no, this is not a class observation, but the observation for the CDA. Erin, that's right. That's done through the Council of Professional Recognition, not through Teachstone.
Yes.
But if you're a family child care provider, yes, we can take the CDA with class. So if that answered that question.
I'm going to add into the chat real quick, if I can find it, the page. So this one is going to be specific to pre-K. It's really the same for infant toddler as well. But I just posted a link in here for the CDA Council, the pathway. So it shows you how to prepare, how to apply, how to demonstrate. If you look in prepare, you'll see what the different areas are that you need. And we do, again, those 120 clock hours in those specific CDA subject areas, and we do the portfolio support. All the rest of the stuff is done through the council, including that observation.
Awesome. All right. We have still some more questions trickling in, and we have 2 more minutes. So we will end on time, but if you have questions and we don't get a chance to answer them, I'll export those questions and make sure that everybody gets their answers. So just use that Q&A box, because that's probably the easiest way to make sure I haven't missed it in the chat going on the side there. So question on, do participants pay Waldorf separately for the college credits? Do you know the answer to that, Erin?
They don't pay separately for the college credits. They would, I think there's a small fee if they want the transcript, but the college credits are part of the cost.
Okay. And another question, how do I know if I qualify for the CDA?
So qualifying for the CDA, there's not really a qualification for it, minus having a GED or high school diploma. The question about transcripts, though, to qualify for a CDA, if that question is meaning that you have some course credit that you want to apply towards our CDA, we don't accept transfers like that. You would still need to go through our entire course. So we wouldn't look at a transcript to see if you can kind of opt out of certain sections or anything. You would go through our entire coursework. Okay.
Right. I think that we've wrapped up the questions and answers. Anything else you want to add here at the end?
I don't think so. I took some notes here on things that we can make sure that we kind of proactively address. Definitely reach out with any sort of questions. Did we put up the email address to to reach out to?
I don't think we put out the email address, but we do have a form if you want to get connected with us. And if you want to connect with Erin on LinkedIn, there's Erin's LinkedIn there. I know you're super active on LinkedIn. I love reading all of your posts.
I try.
And are you going to any conferences soon so people can meet you in person?
Yes, I actually almost mentioned that at the beginning, but I was like, I don't know. I'm going to be at the New Mexico AUIC conference at the end of this month.
Nice.
Um,
Awesome.
Pretty sure I'm going to be in New Mexico again in May. I believe I'm going to be at the Arizona First Things First Symposium in June.
Are you going to Interact in Miami
I am not.
in April? Oh,
I,
bummer. Well, I will be there if folks are going to Interact,
I'm not. I might be
Teachstone's annual conference.
I might be at NHSA in what's that? April, I believe.
November,
No,
or
NH
that's,
NACE's November.
oh, okay. Oof, so many conferences. But thank you all for joining, and thank you for spending your afternoon with us. It was really great. And thank you for all your questions and just for giving us the space to talk through CDA. So it was really nice hearing from everyone. And I hope, oh, yay, hope to see you in Arizona. That's
I
exciting.
saw that.
So yeah, so thanks everybody. And thank you, Erin, for all that you've done and for answering everybody's questions today.
All
Take
right.
care.
Thank you all. Have a great day.
Okay, bye-bye.